Hey, hello, this is the professor with Day Trading for Success. So some great things on this video you're going to want to get. Okay, number one, there is a free scanner that I've just set up. It's my new PDT scanner that I put custom codes in, and you're going to have that here, and I'll go over how that works exactly. And then also I have a brand new indicator that I'm giving away for free on this video, so you're going to want to get that. Now both of these will be free for just around 48 hours, and then they go off to the people that are going to buy them. Then you have to buy them from that $1 Million Margin Club. You should check out the $1 Million Margin Club. They have a lot of great stuff. But right now, if you're following me, you can get these for free. So stick around. We're going to give you an update, go over trading just a little bit. Hopefully you've seen the morning stream. You can see me live every single morning, but stick around and I'll be right back.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success. Every morning, join the professor, a former math teacher turned pro trader, and watch him trade live for free, sharing proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor is not a licensed financial advisor. Consult a licensed financial advisor before following any demonstrations you see here. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss a live session.
Hey, so welcome back, everybody. So here's a typical layout that I use to do streaming in the morning. The new indicator that I'm talking about is right up here. So I was using this today, and basically what this does up here is it shows you the range of the last 5 candles and how they closed, green or red. Then it gives you the average range of all the candles, green or red, over the last 5 minutes. And then it gives you a target. If they close green, your target's 33 cents up. If they close red or short, it's 20 cents down. And then it keeps track of the spread too. Now, it's an interesting combination of things. And why is that? Well, particularly for the scalping strategy that I'm trading, if you want to call it a strategy or a style, where it's strike and recoil, where you're trying to make money off consolidating stocks, so you're not always chasing the momentum stocks that have news and a catalyst. You can do that too. It's really more conservative way to make money, to not chase stocks, but to just trade consolidation and then look for a quick movement and then a recoil, a quick movement, price movement, and then a recoil. And that's for the most part, the style that I am showing in the mornings right now, although I will be diversifying. It is totally free to trade with me. So make sure you stop by and just see if it's something you might want to try. Now, briefly, what this layout is, now I just put out a video, the very last video from the date of this one, has how to build a layout from scratch. It's very similar to this. It will not have the custom indicators. If you don't have those, you'd have to get those separately. But if you were to get them separately, they will populate into your new layout. I also will have a link to this entire layout with everything on it, but the other one, go back to the video. So when you get stuff from my link, whether you're getting the Benzinga news service, which I use a lot, or you get any of the indicators or the books that I really recommend, if you go through my links, of course, that helps the channel, and I'm giving away everything for free that I do. So that would be really helpful for me, so I can continue to give you free content. So thanks for that in advance. So 1 minute chart here, custom indicators all over. I will have a link to what all these indicators mean at the end of this video, link to the video, so you can watch that video. And basically they're prop firm indicators, and that I am a coder, that I code for prop firms, for Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim. I do the coding for, and I do a lot of custom indicators. So you can find some really cool stuff over at the $1 Million Margin Club. You can find a bunch of free stuff on this channel if you look around, and it's just worth looking into. So this is how I trade, though. I have a 1 minute chart with the Scalp Pro meter here instead of just a regular volume. I'll have the news down here, day chart. Just open the day chart briefly. You know, it has the social sentiment, as well as this is a free indicator you can get in the last video or over at the $1 Million Margin Club. It's totally free. And what that's doing down here, I'll point out this one because it's free. It's giving, I need to have stocks move at a certain speed. You watch the level 2 moving up and down at a certain speed, so I can get in and out and do that strike and recoil strategy. So with that, I need them to move at least 100,000 in volume per 1 minute. This is going to tell you if they're doing that. See, it says 260 and 264. So Tesla, no problem. So I'll quickly look at a day chart to see, are these moving that quickly? Now, with the new PDT rule coming out, I've made another scanner that I'm making available today that has this down to 50,000, and I'll show you that because it gives us more stocks. But you should grab that one over the $1 Million Margin Clubs because it's free. The other stuff I have on here is the ATR. Now, remember, when you're trading, and this is not going to be an entire tutorial about any style of trading, but however you trade, you need to be aware of the range of the stock, right? You need to know what it's expected to go high or low any given day, any given stock. So they call that the ATR, the average true range. It's done with a mathematical formula by Wilders. He smooths it out, right? So if you go over any one of these candles and you look down at that range, see, I just go over that green one. It says $18.30. So that could move $18.30 one direction or the other direction, or it might split it in half and go, well, $9 here, $9 here. Or it could do whatever it wants, obviously, but you're looking for something that has a pattern, and that's why ATR is so important. So this has both the half and the whole. The half is used a lot for large cap strategies like, say, in day trading volume 1, the RV strategy that so many people trade. So, having that indicator that does that's great. So I have that up there, and there's a link to that. And then you have, of course, the active trader. You have the level 2. I have a 15-minute chart. This is the market pulse. It's telling you what the QQQ, the SPY, TLT, and the UVXY fear is doing at any given moment. This is telling you what every other chart time frame is telling you, what the candlestick color is right now. 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Kind of has it over here. I've split it too, because it's usually these two are together. So I can quickly see what is everybody else seeing if they're trading on different charts, because you want to trade with the crowd. This also has the half and whole dollars. That's why it's so messy here. The crowd tends to trade and go in and out of their stock picks on whole dollars or half dollars. So knowing where those are helps you. That's what an indicator is. It's really that simple. It's like showing you patterns. It's no mystical thing about an indicator, showing you patterns that maybe so you don't have to try to remember or figure them out on your own, like where's the half dollar, where's the whole dollar, when the 5-minute closes, what is the 15-minute color and the 30-minute color, and you don't need to have all those charts open because those people might be jumping in when it's green, and if it's red they might be jumping out, but yours might be green when it's red for them. So knowing what they trade. This indicator is great because it tells you when the volume increased over the last candle, meaning that move in that direction stronger than it was before. And, it'll turn blue and make an alarm. That's why I looked over, because I heard the alarm. So going down got stronger. You picture you're on a wave, you jump on a surfboard, and you ride that wave till it stops doing what it's doing and jump off before you hit the rocks. Short-term trades. So my strike and recoil strategy is I'll look over here, pick either the ask or the bid, and count 15 seconds in your mind and see, does that move 10 to 15 cents? It certainly did. It moved more than 10 to 15 cents. So if you were to get it on an ask or a bid trade, if you were to jump in, this is not really for beginners what I'm saying here, but assuming you know a little bit, you're jumping in on trade as it moves a certain direction and you're waiting for the recoil. And then you get out. You don't get greedy. 10 to 15 cents, 100 shares, $10 to $15, and you're looking at all the other indicators to see, which should I take that strike? Is that strike a good, that quick movement in one direction? Is that a chance to get in? You'll see me, as a stock goes up and it makes a big push up, you'll see me go short all the time, like it's going straight up. Why would you ever go short? Oh, I'm looking for a little recoil. And then I'll get out and maybe I'll go long, but I want to recoil. As this goes up, I could have recoiled every one of these short, and made money all the way up going the opposite direction. And some people might say, well, it's easier just to go long. Yes, if you knew it was going to go long, for sure, right? One thing I do know from trading a lot, unless you have a news catalyst, going up seems to be a lot harder than going down really fast. Even in a bull market, you'll see faster flushes than you will see rises, right? So that's why I tend to play the quick shorts, not the long shorts. Then you could get in real trouble on a long bias stock. But I get called out on that all the time, man. You're crazy. What are you doing that for? Don't teach people that. Well, I'm not a financial advisor, and you need to seek the advice of a financial advisor before you do anything that I do here or trade any way that I trade here. Like my little opening message says, be careful, trade in a simulator first. Do your own due diligence. I'm just explaining to you the strategy that I'm trading now live, how I'm going to expand the number of stocks I'll be trading it with because the new PDT rule is going to go into effect where it's lowering down that you only need 2,000 in your account to margin. So you can margin up then to $8,000 and you can afford 80 shares of this stock. Not necessarily of this stock, but $8,000 on $100 stock, you could afford. I'm confusing myself. Anyway, and I'm a former math teacher, but anyway, they're about to lower it so you can make a lot more money quickly if you're not waiting for that $25,000 anymore. But you got to be careful. You can still lose money. So having a strategy, having a style, doing whatever you want to, don't just go willy-nilly, trade in a simulator. Make sure things are working for you. Over here's a 5-minute chart, another 5-minute chart, then reduced 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. These help me set up my strategy. You can see that in the mornings. This is a 15-minute here. This is a ADX trend crossover with clouds. This is another custom indicator that's really handy. And depending on what time frame I have this market pulse on, it might read differently, right? So this is on a 30-minute, this is on a 15-minute. So I can see longer moves. They're pretty much lining up except for the bonds. So get this. You can get this with the indicators on a link I have, but you'd have to buy it through a $1 Million Margin Club. You can get a layout that's almost exactly like this and how to build it on the last video I have. And if you want to know about all these custom indicators, look at the video that I have linked to this and watch that. And those are prop firm indicators. And it doesn't hurt to have that knowledge, whether you want to spend a few bucks on them or not. Usually your first trade pays for a good indicator that like prop professional traders use. Let's go to my scanner now. So this is the new one that I'm going to give you guys today. Okay. So anywhere from $10 to $500, that might not be your cup of tea. Right? Market cap 2,000 million, which is 2 billion minimum, right? There's no maximum. Then I have an average. This is the one that's actually going to say it's going to find that all your stocks have to be moving at least 50,000 in volume every 1 minute, not 100,000, 50,000. That's widening it up a bit for more mid cap and small cap stocks. Now, obviously, if you're looking for a momentum stock that has a news catalyst, you're going to have way higher volume than that, right? This is for we look for with this strategy, and I trade in a studio here. That's why I say we. There's a lot of traders here. We look for consolidation, most of us. So you're finding a range, and you're looking for the stock to consolidate in between that range, and you're going long and short. Long and short, strike and recoil, strike and recoil. The same thing like I was just describing that. And then down here, you'll get this custom columns here that this is showing you the spread. So this will be like a separate one you have to load up. This shows you the minimum volume on this for 50,000 on a 10-day average, a 1-day average. This shows you the percentage from the high. This is all custom. So hey, it's about to break a new high. Okay, so these are really this is really handy way to have it. Hard to borrow, easy to borrow. That would be anywhere, but I'll have this so you can have this exact column layout as well as this exact scanner for free for at least 48 hours. Okay, so make sure you look for it. If it's past 48 hours, don't scream and yell at me that you didn't get it. Just look for my next deal. You got to follow along and watch the videos, right? Tricky, right? So when I say, I'm going to give you an update, guys, for the people that were following this morning. So I was down. I think we had just made money, and then I came back over to Tesla real quick and got this higher green, but I got out of my NVIDIA for a loss. So I just got out. And now I look at it and I think, why did I do that, right? Because I saw just before I made this video. Yeah, it's actually down to my position. I think I had it 181.62, I think. So I actually could have got out for much less money, but I made the move and that's that. Oops, I don't want to do that. So the other So there was my only loss. And then I did on Hood, I did 136. And then on Iron, I did 35. And then on Tesla, I ended up with 109. I ended up with 157 for the day. Let's get a look here. 158. So here's how we're doing on the month, if you want to come follow along. This is reported through Thinkorswim, Charles Schwab Thinkorswim, directly into the bank account at Charles Schwab's bank account that has this directly over to TraderView. So you see the actual real trading numbers. Our goal was 3,000, roughly 150 a day. So we're well over our goal. We have one more day to trade. We're not looking for huge numbers here, just a steady way to make a living. Or if you're retired and you're needing to add a couple 3,000 to your retirement fund. If you live in another country, you're an expat and you're adding, you can't quite make it. Depending on the visa you have, which I've been learning all about this recently, you might need a couple thousand. And this is it's a much more surefire way to make that money if you stick to your maximum loss per trade. And you can watch me trade along every morning depending on your time zone. Right now, I'm on the East Coast of the United States, and I start around 9 o'clock. And I say every morning. Some mornings I might not be on. For the most part, I have a life, but I try to keep it pretty consistent. And then what you're doing is you're just creating, the last thing I'll say before I move on, is you're just creating channels. I mark the open there. I mark the Fibonacci level. I show how to do all this. You're marking channels. You're marking historical data. And you're using those as guidelines along with the price action to go in and out of very short-term moves. Like, let's just take a quick look here if I were to have marked some of this price action. So let's say there's a high right here. So I marked that high, but it actually stopped right there over here the day before. So let's get more days marked across and see what we have. And then it tapped it again here. And look, it respected it again today. So this would have been a level that you would say like, hey, I might get some support here after this long length down. Look at this every other day. It gave me support there, all the way back to here even. That's an historical data, short-term historical data. You can do data 1 minute, you can do data 5 years. You can do data, historical that way, based on where the stock stopped and abruptly turned around. You can do the Fibonacci levels where they're the high and the low. You always go left to right. It doesn't matter if it's low high or high low, but it's always left to right, and then that opens channels. This is on a 5-minute 10-day, and then you can continue to mark. I mean, we know we're in the price action up here. I don't usually mark the post and pre-market levels. I don't trust them as much, but I occasionally will mark the open, and I'll do the breakout levels a lot from Day Trading Volume 4. And I would just say, get that book. I have a link. It has all the open breakout levels from trading the open, the pre-market levels, the 5-minute level, the 15-minute level. A lot of people trade off those levels, so it makes sense to make note of them. But if you knew the price action was right in this zone, you don't really have many other. I mean, you have right here. That might be a level if it got below the fib. But the other way you do additional support and resistance levels, this is a 5-minute 10-day. This is a 5-minute 2-day. It's why I have another one opened up. So now I'm going to do the fib again, and I'll show you how to do it. So you mark it on the low price. That's 08. Let's go to 03. Oh, it's very sensitive. Trying to get there's 03. I left click, let up on the left click, drag it over here to the 98. So sensitive. There we go. I'm going to make that a different color so I know it's the shorter term 2-day, right? Now we have additional channels. Look at that, from the open to that, how that was respected. Oh my God, right? How would that do that based on those levels, right? Fibonacci was, figured out back in the 16th century. That is the oldest type of historical data. But it also gave us another mark here. Look at that. Now I'm looking in today's action, right? So look how it respected that level here. Boom, 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 and turned around. So now you look at your price data. You zoom in on a 1 minute and you look at your price data, and it suddenly becomes so easy to trust these levels. Now, the whole and half dollars are here too. Remember I mentioned that. So let's throw those into the mix and see. And it's still going on today. you could still trade this. Look at the different channels here, right? So you had that fib here, and then you have your whole and half dollar channels, and then you're just looking at your strike and recoil levels off your level 2. I mean, I know I say and then, but you get used to it, and you very, very easily line up the things. The more things you can line up, the better trade. The more way that all the other charts are going your direction. The more way that you've hit a historical support level, and you might want to go that direction. Then you can look at how far should you ride that direction. You can look at the scalp pro meter. The more that this is moving, this is showing inside the candles here, guys. This is why it's a professional indicators. You can't get it unless you get it from like a pro firm, and they get paid to do it. That's why they do it. That's showing you the sellers and the buyers. I mean, this is just amazing stuff. And then a meter lights up, and this is the percentage right inside the candlestick. Are you above or below the 14 V EMA? I mean, and then you want your other things on here, your VWAP and your 9 moving average and your 20 moving average somewhere. Here's the VWAP way up here. So this isn't an entire tutorial on how to understand trading, but it is something to show you about what you can expect to learn when you see me trade, how hopefully you can expect to do okay if you follow your rules, and then how you can start to learn how to use these indicators and then make a living day trading. That's why it's called Day Trading for Success. It's all free over here, guys, to come in and trade along. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the morning that have been following me along. Thanks for watching. Go green out there.